Well, I'm Jason with the All Things Open team here. We've got Taylor. Please introduce yourself to the All Things Open community.
Yeah, so my name is Taylor Desseyn. I am a VP of Global Development at a company called Torc, T-O-R-C. What that means essentially is I'm just a professional friend maker. I've spent 11 years in the traditional recruiting space, and I really saw a need I think the last 3 or 4 years of my career really giving back to the engineering community. So I recruited engineers for all those years. And so I started to go to conferences, started to speak at conferences as a recruiter around the job search and hiring. And then I was able to get out of recruiting and basically got into kind of this community thing that a lot of companies are starting to kind of build. And super blessed to kind of head up community for Latin America, US, and India at this new company.
That's great. Well, I want to learn more about building community. So what's exciting about building community for developers?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. So developers, there's a certain culture with developers. And there's a vibe, a culture, whatever you want to call it. And I think it's interesting because as a recruiter, I've spent 11 years of my career trying to be a part of that culture, right? And I think it's a very nuanced culture where developers want to be appreciated, they want to be heard, they're tired of being sold to, right? They're tired of recruiters, right? And so I think what's really great about building community and so important about building community is that when you can get ingrained into somebody's culture, that's not quite what you do, I feel like you have the opportunity to really throw some gas on the fire and grow it tremendously because, I have a lot of my friends tell me that I'm a developer without ever being a developer. And then getting to that point and helping grow community and help people along their job search process, something that's incredibly meaningful to me. It's something that really gets me out of bed in the morning.
Yeah, I think it's a trust factor.
It's a huge trust factor. I think that's exactly it. I think you nailed it on the head right there. I think for me, like when I graduated college, I didn't know how to find a job. I went to South Carolina, and I didn't know how to find a job. I didn't know about LinkedIn that much, right? LinkedIn was just kind of coming in vogue, and so really what I've realized is that I want to essentially be the person to help developers level up in their career and to build a community around that has been really special.
Cool. All right, I want to ask about AI because that's what everyone's talking about.
If I had $1 for every time I've heard AI.
Oh, we'd be rich people.
I know, seriously.
Are you using AI to save you time these days, anything?
Yeah, so kind of my AI hack, at least as of late, so I use this tool called Plaud, P-L-A-U-D. I know you and I were chatting before we went live, and it's a great tool. Basically, it's like this thing, it's like the size of your credit card. You just set it on the table and it records everything. We had an all hands in Boston for Torc at Torc HQ 2 weeks ago, and I used it to basically transcribe all of our community notes and then relate it back to the team. And it was amazing because you do not want to read my handwriting whatsoever. And then the other thing I use actually a Nashville-based AI company called Spinach AI.
Okay.
And they transcribe all my meeting notes, and I'm a big fan of. So Spinach AI, you're great, and you're not paying me to say this. I just appreciate you.
That's awesome. People love when they learning new tools. So I want to learn more about your podcast. What's it called? What do you talk about? And where can people find it?
Yeah, so Guidance Counselor 2.0. So I started this podcast again, right? Kind of wanting to get ingrained in the developer culture, wanting to be a resource for developers. When COVID, so I started to do some pretty heavy speaking right before COVID. Then COVID hit. I was like, well, now what?
Yep.
Right? I'm just at home now. And I started to see the trend because I was originally recruiting in Nashville, and I saw a trend where I was like, everything's global now. Developers are going to go global. And so I was like, you know what? I want a way to give back to developers at scale, because as a recruiter, we only place 10% of the people we meet. That's a low number. And so I was like, how can I help the other 90% of people that I meet? And so essentially started this podcast, Guidance Counselor 2.0. It started with just basically me chatting into the abyss on LinkedIn and my mom liking it. That was it.
That's how we all start.
Yeah. My mom's just over there going, go Taylor. And so 6 months did that. Nobody paid attention to me. And then about month 7 or 8, people are like, hey, can I come on and tell my story? Well, fast forward 4 years now, I've had senior leadership at Fang all the way down to like boot camp grads who've like been successful. Because my whole thing is I just want to give back tools and have other people tell their stories on how they found a job, because it may resonate differently with different people. And so I took a little break, but we're about to launch it again live on the Torc platform. I'll go live 3 days a week, so pretty stoked about that.
And streaming at most popular places?
Yes, we are all over the internet.
We won't have to list them all then.
Yep.
Do you have any tips or best practices to share with the All Things Open community?
Hey, this is Todd with All Things Open. Thank you so much for watching. We truly appreciate it. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification button. We've got a lot of new content coming we think you're going to be interested in. One final favor, be sure to go to allthingsopen.org, allthingsopen.org to see everything that we do. Back to the video.
Yeah, just network your butt off, man. I mean, like, I think, and I find myself getting kind of weird about this too. Like, I'm an introvert. I really am. I'm just like, I like being in front of the camera. But like, put me in a big group of people, I'm like, please don't talk to me, I'm terrified. And so what I've realized, like people that are here like actually want to talk, and they actually like want to connect. And so like, take advantage of that, especially at a conference like this where, the vibe, I mean, it's just a beautiful scenario or setting, and people are, I can already tell the energy's crazy good on day one.
Day zero.
Yeah, day zero, really. And so like, I just implore people, like, take advantage of networking. Don't be scared. Even if it's just going up. I literally just had a chat with two gentlemen just now that they were just like super nice and like just got our names and we moved on. Like, I feel like networking, people think they got to come up with like a 30-minute elevator pitch, and it's like, no, just like say, hey, how are you doing? What do you do? And then move on and connect with people on LinkedIn, and that's it.
Yeah, perfect. All right, well, we know that we've got 5,000 people in attendance. They're going to learn a lot while they're here.
Sure.
What do people do with all that knowledge after the conference?
So here's my thing. I think if you go to a conference like this and attend all these sessions, I think this conference is the launch for you talking about content online, or documenting everything online.
Okay.
I think in today's job search, like, you have to do something different. And the people who are building in public, the people who are documenting, the people who are just out there putting themselves out there are the ones that are really separating themselves. And so like, I really implore people, go to the sessions, take notes, and then start blogging on LinkedIn what you've learned. And I'm telling you, I really truly believe if you stay consistent and take, like, for every session you go to, there's a lot of sessions, and you document one day each session you went to, I think something's amazing going to happen in your career in 90 days.
Perfect. Great advice. Thanks for your time today. Appreciate it.
Man. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
All right.